The 1940s Navy peacoat. This thing is so amazing. I owned a 1960s one. I believe it was 1963. I ended up selling that to a guy in Minnesota who was very grateful, which was interesting because it was just like another eBay sale. And he was super grateful for buying that 1963 peacoat off me. And it was an amazing jacket as well. And he got it for a good price. Basically what I bought it for, which was like, I think maybe, I don't know, around the time, like $110 or something. I think I got this one for even cheaper. I got this one for like $70 or $80 years ago, and I've used it a lot. This was actually pretty much brand new, and like the wear, you can kind of see around the pockets and stuff, and even the shoulder. That stuff came because of me. This was like fairly unused, I would say, although at the same time, it may have been used because this one will be much harder to identify due to the fact that there's no label. The reason I know this is a 1940s peacoat is simply because it is the kersey wool. I should probably get a lint roller on this thing. It's snowing, and it is April 19th, so it was 83 degrees the other day, and now it's like in the 20s or something. So these peacoats are amazing. I pretty much never use the latch there, which I didn't latch back on, but it's great. Nice, just piece of kersey wool right here. Smaller buttons on the collar. Peacoats like this have the design where you can invert how you wear them. So if the wind is coming from a certain side, you might want to put the buttons the other way and then swap it around if it's coming in from the other way, depending on how you're working, what you're doing. Works both ways, which is great. I mean, I only use it a single way, and I typically will just use two buttons. I'll put the left over the right side, much like most men's jackets would, and then I button up these two, and they do take the brunt of the weight as well. I've had the buttons redone at a local place. It was like 20 bucks to fix a few of them. Navy anchor buttons. There are different ways of stitching the buttons on. This one has a Z stitch. Same with that one. People make arguments as to what the original is. This one's stitched on like a cross or a plus sign. But for me, I personally don't really care. This one right there is stitched on like an anchor, as you can see. Some people say that's the proper way of doing it. Another anchor there. But I don't really care how they're stitched on. I actually kind of just like that the buttons are functional in the first place, you know? These 1940s peacoats do not actually have lapels like this. I steamed that in. So it's not permanent. It's like a semi-permanent kind of fixture there. But I steamed them in myself with an iron because I think it looks better when it has lapels like that. But if it gets extra cold, of course, you can always just flip them in and do everything up, all the buttons. This size fits perfectly. I believe this would have been a size like 40 regular. I remember doing a bunch of research on this, and I believe one of the best resources that you can find for getting to know these jackets, these really high-end kersey wool Navy jackets, US Navy of course, is the Fedora Lounge. You can see how well everything is done. The wool's still holding up. I've been using this thing for years. Like, this is my primary fall and winter jacket for the most part. Like, this is what I wear whenever it's like quite cold out, you know? It does work very well in the snow. Wool holds a high percentage of its own weight in water and will still keep you warm. So even if this thing was pretty much soaked, you would still be warm wearing it. And that is a big part of the reason why I like natural materials. Yep, 1940s Navy peacoat. This thing is so amazing. I've been loving it for years. Honestly, it's been one of those things that I haven't really thought about for too long until I started this channel. And sometimes you just have to kind of use your things to appreciate them again. And it's been a little bit since I've worn this, since I've been wearing some other stuff for the most part this past winter and fall. But this has been like my primary driver for several years now, and it's just as good as all the hype videos and all the hype posts you see online. It is truly amazing. I'm standing here out in the snow. Wool can hold like 80% of its own weight in water before it kind of starts getting cold on you. It will keep you warm. Just zero complaints about this thing. It's truly amazing. Oh yes. And you can style this thing pretty much any way you want. You can be formal. If you like to wear a suit and tie, you can throw this over. Of course, you should probably choose the correct size for what you're wearing. Like if you want to get this thing over like a suit jacket, you're probably gonna have to size up like a couple sizes. These 1940s peacoats fit slimmer and more trim than the 1960s peacoats, because as time went on, people started getting a little bit larger and fatter even. Not just larger in stature, but also just fatter in general. So the 1960s peacoats, they still look really good, nothing wrong with them, but I just prefer the more slim style of the 1940s. It's just more my style, a lot like the Levi's bomber jacket that I had done a review on. That jacket is a slimmer looking version of a MA1 military bomber. Those bombers have always looked really like bulky and bulbous to me, and it's never been my style. I prefer more like, I wouldn't say I'm a slim cut kind of guy. I actually don't like slim cut stuff, but I like things that look more tailored, if that makes sense, because I do have like wider shoulders, somewhat of a slimmer waist, and it tapers down, right? So I like my stuff to kind of resemble that as well.